I will call the remote hearing of the Environment and Natural Resources Trust Fund Appropriations Conference Committee back to order. The clerk will take attendance by roll.
Representative Hansen is present. Representative Acom.
Present.
Representative Heinzman. Representative Heinzman. Senator Westrom.
Westrom present.
Senator Ingebrigtsen.
Ingebrigtsen present.
Senator Herr.
Herr present.
Thank you.
The quorum is present. Senator Westrom, will you move the adoption of House File 3765 Conference Committee report?
Mr. Chair, I would move the conference committee report.
And are there any questions to the conference committee report? Senator Westrom, I believe you had a question.
Say that again.
Are there any questions for the conference committee or statements?
No, Mr. Chair, thank you. And I just, for those watching and the members, I know we had, the Senate had language dealing with the Crane Lake situation, and I know there seems to be some administrative and some logistical issues that they're trying to work through to resolve that situation so they can move forward with progress up in that area. I know you and I have talked about it. I just would like to have it on the record that we've talked about it. We weren't able to come to agreement for the resolution in this bill, but I know one of the processes, talking to staff, we can work that through the LCCMR. And Mr. Chair, if you're willing to work on that, I know I am, and we are from the Senate. And I just like any thoughts or comments you would have or could make for those concerned about that as we try to work through that and get it resolved for them.
Thank you, Senator Westrom. And it appears to be a very complex land ownership transactional issue. And we felt in the conference committee that it should be handled in the LCCMR. So I do commit to you that we should bring that up as an agenda item for the commission to work on and provide, so they have full awareness of it and provide recommendations for the legislature in the future.
Very good, Mr. Chair, and we'll work with staff further. It looked to me like it might even be possible that the commission could make some determinations and help resolve it. But however it is, I know we've got capable staff working on it, and we can help get that done. It's good it was brought to our attention to help resolve it, so progress can be made for them up in that area as well. And otherwise, Mr. Chair, I think we've got a good bill ready to move forward, and urge members to support it.
I see a hand up from Senator Ingebrigtsen. Senator Ingebrigtsen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I just want to commend the two of you along with your staff and the other members for getting this done in a very, I should say, timely matter. Nevertheless, it's done. It's a good bill. I reviewed it, and I wholeheartedly support it. And again, thank you for the work, the two chairs, as well as the staff, the bank staff we have. Without them, we wouldn't get it done. So thank you all.
Thank you. Representative Heinzman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm looking at lines 38.17 through page 39, so I could say 39.8. And I'll just read a couple of lines starting at the 38.17. The unencumbered amount, this is in transfers, members. The unencumbered amount estimated to be 925,000. Then it goes on. And then in line 38.22, the unencumbered amount estimated to be, and then it goes on. And there's a number of others. My question is just, I would like to confirm in the conference committee that these amounts are not needed and truly are unencumbered. Is there anybody that could speak to that, Mr. Chair?
Representative Heinzman, we have Ms. Nash, and we have the fiscal staff available, Ms. Nash from the LCCMR. So maybe we go to fiscal staff first, just to from the legislative perspective, and then the council perspective, and then from the council perspective with Ms. Nash. So,
Mr. Chair,
Mr.
Mr. Chair, I
Hagman.
can take the first crack at that, then Ms. Nash can provide more detail. This is how we deal with some appropriations that we know are not going to be spent by the end of the biennium. These appropriations would otherwise cancel. I believe they provided information to council staff. So Ms. Nash would be able to verify that, but they provided information that they're going to be unable to spend these funds by the end of the year. This is typically how we deal with these if we try to reuse the money. Otherwise, on June 30th, they would cancel back to the corpus of the fund. This way, we're able to use that money to spend it on a different project. But again, in order to verify that, you might want to just ask Ms. Nash that she's heard from the project managers that they're not going to be spending these funds.
Ms. Nash.
Mr. Chair and members, that is correct. We have confirmed with these project managers in the last couple of days even that they are not using these funds, and we have actually received a final report from 2 of the projects thus far telling us basically that they're returning the funds.
Representative Heinzman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just needed that clarification. That's all I have for now.
And Representative Heinzman, the reason this this transfer in subdivision 20 with those unencumbered funds, that's applied to the state parks and trails division that scored fairly highly in the amount. And when you look on the spreadsheet, it is the state parks and trails acquisitions. However, it does not include any acquisitions per the Senate's insistence. It shows 1,600 there. This is the amount from the cancellations is applied to that line item. So it brings it up to the bill amount that was in the House, 3783. So otherwise it looks a little different in terms of being lowered, but all of the projects that scored 70 or higher are included in the conference committee report per the House bill, which was the Hansen amendment during the LCCMR. They have an 11% cut from the requested amount. So those are all equally reduced from their requested amount, and everything that scored 70 and above. So the cream of the crop is included in the conference committee report. And maybe Senator Westrom, if you could verify that from the.
That's correct, Mr. Chair. But to the point you made, it was intentionally directed towards maintenance of those areas, with the acquisition being a concern by several members in the legislature, at least in the Senate. And so Representative Heinzman, as we worked it out, there's plenty of projects that need maintenance within the realm of state parks and trails. And so that was part of the agreement, is wouldn't be new acquisition, it would be for maintenance of existing property.
In addition, the agreement includes that a work plan must be approved per the LCCMR as all projects that are in the conference committee report. And there is a direction to the LCCMR beyond the verbal direction that Senator Westrom and I just indicated for coming back to the legislature with capital project recommendations to spend some time on that and make a report. So the LCCMR will be busy the rest of the year, Ms. Nash. We have a lot of work to do if this is adopted. I do want to take a moment, that I want to highlight a project that was leveraging data analytics innovation for watershed district planning. And I will take responsibility for not including that in that. I made a mistake. And I think when a member makes a mistake, they should own up to it. So that is my error, and I regret that did not get included. But I would encourage them to reapply in the new round. And Ms. Nash, if that, could you maybe just say when the RFP closes for the next round?
Mr. Chair and members, it is 4:30 p.m. next week, May 26th.
Thank you. Mr. Stanley or Ms. Taylor, do you want to walk through any language changes more than we've kind of referenced? Anything we've missed?
Mr. Chair and members, I can quickly go through. You've already mentioned the capital projects provision. The other policy provision was the Senate's eminent domain prohibition that has been included. And then there were a few changes to the riders that weren't in either side. I could point those out if the committee wanted me to.
If you could do that and also confirm that the eminent domain language is the same as similar or roughly the same as is in the Outdoor Heritage Council provisions, Ms. Taylor?
Mr. Chair and members, it is the for Outdoor Heritage Fund, they have very similar languages that would prohibit eminent domain unless the property owner requests it. Then the other changes, as was mentioned, land acquisition was removed from the bill. So there were a few riders that needed to be changed. The first would be on page 18. Paragraph A, the Mesabi Trail. Language on 18.22 was added to say easements to clarify that would be the acquisition of easements. And then on page 20, paragraph F, there were originally the State Parks and Trails was designed for acquisition of high priority in holdings. Now it's for maintenance and development at state parks, rec areas, and trails. There's also on paragraph H on the bottom of that page, the SNA habitat restoration and in public engagement. There was language allowing the acquisition of SNAs, and that has been removed. And then on page 26, the Pig's Eye Landfill Task Force. The House had carried this in the Environment and Natural Resources Bill, and there was some differences in language. You'll see that on line 26.17, 18, and 21, a few additional representatives that were in the House bill, South St. Paul, Newport, and Washington County have been added that weren't included in the Senate provision originally. And then we've already kind of looked at that new transfer language on page 38, so that's there. I'll just point out that on page 36, we went with the House carry forward and extension language. There was one additional carry forward in the House language. And then I think we've covered everything.
Members, any questions for Ms. Taylor?
Mr. Chair.
Senator Westrom.
Ms. Taylor, I just wanted to clarify on the trail, the acquisition that's restricted is any fee title, but easements are allowed if it's just an easement going over privately held land. Is that correct?
Ms. Taylor.
Mr. Chair, members, with the Mesabi Trail, we just clarified that acquisition of easements would be allowed. Yes. I don't think the other language.
Okay. I wasn't fully clear on how you had said it. So thanks for the clarification.
Any other questions? Members, I think this is a good bill. There are things in there that probably everybody will like. There are some things that some people will not like. There's some things that people probably wish were in there, but it is a compromise. Senator Westrom, the Senate had a very different bill than the House, and we did the best we could. I want to thank him for his work on that. I would ask for your support for the bill. Senator Westrom renews his motion to adopt House File 3765 Conference Committee Report. Senator Westrom.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and likewise, thanks for helping work this out. Got to be a late night yesterday as we were making good progress, and so that was a good achievement that we accomplished. And I think there's a lot of good projects, not only in certain areas of the state, but I think we've got a very wide assortment across the entire state with dozens and dozens of good projects that those that want to invest in the projects that help the environment in a variety of ways, whether it's trails, whether it's cover crops, whether it's pollinators. You know, we have a wide array. And so, like you said, I agree. If there's things people like better than others, and other people like other things better than others. And so, as we came to a agreement, I think getting it finished and past this legislative session is worth the compromise, worth the effort that we put into it and everybody put into it. And then lastly, thanks to the staff, both the House and the Senate staff that put in even longer hours than you and I, Mr. Chairman, as we tried to finish this bill. And so thanks to them for their good work, and thanks to the LCCMR staff for helping put this together and the support they can offer as we go through the process and get this signed and get it across the finish line.
Thank you, Senator Westrom. I think three very strong proposals that are in here are the Minnesota Invasive Terrestrial Research Center, significant investment in research there that will be recognized around the country. The establishment of the Prion Research Center, also groundbreaking work that will be recognized around the world. And then significant investment for encouraging diversity in conservation careers. So the clerk will take the roll.
Representative Hansen.
Aye.
Hansen votes aye. Representative Acom.
Aye.
Acom votes aye. Representative Heinzman.
Heinzman, aye.
Heinzman votes aye. Senator Westrom.
Westrom, aye.
Westrom votes aye. Senator Ingebrigtsen.
Ingebrigtsen votes aye.
Ingebrigtsen votes aye. Senator Herr.
Herr votes aye.
Herr votes aye. Mr. Chair, there are 6 ayes and 0 nays.
The motion prevails on a unanimous vote. Members, you received an email from the reviser with conference committee report. Please follow the instructions to electronically sign the report as soon as possible so that it can get to the front desk so we can vote on it in the House, send it to the Senate, and get it to the governor for signature. We are adjourned.